Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 40. Can't even believe I'm saying that. Day 40. I did a 40-day juice fast one time. That was amazing to break. So now we're doing 108. Okay, so today we're going to talk about energy in motion, emotions. I decided to call it energy in motion instead of emotions because we want to start. So one of the things that was really difficult for me was to get a hand of this emotion stuff. When it comes down to the core of it, we've been doing this for almost a decade now, me and Simba, and we keep coming back over and over and over and over again to the emotions. We've been talking about the human and the soul. And in order for us to be able to grow as people, it is the emotional aspect that is one of the absolute keys, because it's the emotions that we are trying to avoid. And when we start to realize that it's energy in motion, that's when we can start to align with this expansion and contraction energy, or the principle. So we realize that nothing is ever stagnant unless it's dying. So it should be in motion all the time. So the energy in motion, that is the emotions, the feeling, the sensations that we have inside, that is the key to be able to navigate. And to be able to do that, we need to address the nervous system, because if the nervous system is in a lot of stress all the time, then we are feeding the emotions over and over and over again. It's like we're doing everything right, but if the nervous system keeps believing that we are in danger, then the system is going to feed itself from the inside new emotions, because the nervous system is going to activate stressors all through the body, and the organs are going to work so much harder, and they will be so when the strength and the vitality of the organs goes down, then we have more of the negative emotion that is connected to each emotion. So the liver, for instance, is connected with anger. So if we have a lot of anger, then the liver is not doing very well. If we have a lot of fear, that's usually in the kidneys and in the bladder. So I've had a lot, and the kidney and the bladders are deeply connected. So I've had a lot of kidney issues and bladder issues. So I was thirsty all the time. I even went to the doctor and did a bunch of tests. I think I did that more than one time to rule out that I wasn't diabetic, because I was consuming so much water and I was peeing all the time. I mean, in my previous relationship, that was a thing, that I had to have access to bathroom, all the time, because I was constantly peeing and I was constantly thirsty. So I was consuming so much water and I was just flushing the system. And that was because my kidneys weren't doing good and the bladder wasn't doing good. So as I worked through that with the physical detox, but also releasing the emotions and strengthening strengthening all the organs and my whole system, then gradually that disappeared completely. So I don't have that anymore. And that's also, I as I mentioned, I used to eat a lot of medication for my thyroid and all of that. So for years and years and years, I was just building up and strengthening my system and so it's like that's where the multidimensional detox comes in, because we're multidimensional beings. So it's not just fix one thing and then everything else falls into place. It's much more complicated than that. So it's all interlinked, it's all intertwined. That is why we are speaking about concepts and principles. So we adding them together so that we can start to see. It's like I want to build like a invisible hologram so that you can understand how everything is tied together. And the key here is the emotion, because the emotion is the number one thing for the body. Because if we are unable to process the emotions, the energy in motion, if the energy is stagnant or stuck, then that starts to cost the body so deeply. It's so expensive for the body to carry around all the unprocessed emotions. So we want to keep the energy in motion, and when we don't want to feel them, we put them in freeze. So it's like, don't want to feel that, I freeze this emotion. So we stop the energy in motion. So what we are supposed to do is to understand that the emotion is not dangerous and hold the space for that energy. And this is where a lot of science is saying that emotion is generally in a time span of about up to 90 seconds. But then you have more of the same. So there's a flow of energy and motion that is up to 90 seconds. And then it's like the contraction and expansion, but then there can come again and again and again and again. And that is what, and if there's too much of that, you can go into the flooding of the nervous system, because it's a flood of emotion that you can't deal with, or we go into a sort of a panic, or the body shuts down in different ways. So all of this is processes that is starting and stopping in the body. So we have these energies in motion inside of the system all the time, and women have a lot of them because of the way that we are constructed. And there's a lot of hormones that is controlling this. And when the body comes out of balance in different ways, then the system is like haywire. And then we might have a lot of energy in motion, and we can have good energy in motion and energies that feels like they are hostile, but they are not. They are just clear communication inside the system. So the whole trick is to learn about this, to realize, okay, there's a system in here, there's a way that things work. The emotions aren't personal, and that is one of the things also, that it's just energy in motion. There's nothing, it's not because I did anything wrong, it's just a consequence of how I'm living. So I'm not a bad person, I'm just, forgive them, Father, they don't know what they do. I'm not a bad person, even though I did bad things. I am my intention, I am my soul level purpose, and I can always come back to the truth. But we need to take accountability for the things that we've been through and what we've done. And we're not, purists. So we all did things, but it's like, okay, having an honest look at what do I have to deal with? And the key here is the emotion, because we have the emotions that are in the system that we need to move, that we have a little bit backed up from the past. We have the digestive fire that we want to activate on many different levels, so that we can then have a functioning system, so we can move through the world and feel confident that we can process whatever we are approaching or experiencing. And then we have the energies from the organs, and we have energies from external people, so we can feel what other people are carrying, and that we can also pick up and believe it's our own, depending on your energetic setup, for instance, and your centers, what is activated and what is not. We are then, some are good, exceptionally good at some things, and then others are exceptionally good at other things, and then we might have a little bit lower capacity in other aspects. And it's like learning, okay, what is my energetic setup, what is my main emotions that I'm carrying, what is it that I need to work on, what is my habits, what is my reactions, and how do I feel about the feeling that I have. And this is where we start to look at how we are attracting external energies, because what we are, and this is the law of attraction, so we attract the energies and motions that we are already have. So what we have, we will attract more of. And this is where the emotions comes in too, because the emotion can trigger the belief system. So if I have an emotion, then my mind and my past and how I grew up is going to tell me what is going on. And then I'm going to define it in a way that will either move the energy or block the energy. And the limiting belief system blocks the energy. So it becomes impossible for the body to have a healthy internal alchemy system with energy in motion. So we are supposed to feel the energies in motions of the world. We're supposed to be able to be fluid and like, wow, here's a storm of negativity. Or you can meet someone and then you go, whoa. But then the body tells you that, and like, okay, this person is not feeling good. It is not in a happy place, and it's on the road to more of that. And then my body tells me that. So then I know, like, okay, maybe not go with that person, you know? So it's like, it's a communication system. And it's very easy to understand once we realize what's going on. But we're supposed to feel joy. We're supposed to feel sadness. We will lose everyone we have in this lifetime. We will experience tragic things. So we are supposed to feel these strong emotions, and they are here to make us appreciate the good, because there's this contrast. It's the contrast that we cannot have the white without the black. So we're coming back to the yin and the yang, and the white dot and the black dot. So we can experience great abundance, but there's still the black dot in the white, reminding us, keeping us grounded, keeping us in reality, that this is a dynamic place. And what we know is that nothing is fixed, nothing is stagnant. When it's alive, it's not stagnant. So we know that another emotion is coming. We know that another sensation is coming. But depending on how connected we are to our bodies and the system, we will know where to go to get more of what we want, or what we are destined for, or what we are designed for, or what the soul is looking for, what the soul wants. And when we start to follow this excitement, that's our little sonar, like ding 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 ding, okay, we're going that way. So then we are able to navigate and create better things. And at some point I will talk about this, the principle of compounding. We're gatherers, we're hunter gatherers. We hunt for good things and we bring them in and we gather them. That's how you build wealth. That's how you build health. That's how you compound energy. So we are building. So when we are connected to the body, we will know, okay, here we can go and compound more energy, more good things, more opportunities, more of whatever it is that you want. And the body will always also tell you, maybe not here, maybe not now, maybe no, maybe this is not. And then the universe is also going to, close and open doors for you, so you can. I mean, it is like a video game. It's like you're running around trying different doors, feeling with the body, meeting people who's trying to sell you things, who's trying um, to get you into religions, go do practices, study this. There's someone wants something. And the body is the system that shows us what is for me and what is not. And this is what we're going to do in the sensational body. It's the body connection, and we're going to learn more about the energies in motion and how we can open that up, and what type of emotions that are really stuck in the lower parts, and activate the principles. We're going to start working with the principles to activate the Kundalini energy and the life force and the sexual energy. So we really start with that connection. And that is the energy in motion. All of it is energy in motion. And learning to hold the energy in motion, and realizing that, okay, this is not forever. There's information in here. I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow. I'm here to expand. And once we start to get the hang of that, and that is the alchemy. So we want to meet that energy in motion all the time. And that happens 24/7. So it's about having this, and that is what a lot of the spiritual practices is about, is to expand the awareness and be able to hold your awareness on multiple things at the same time, so that you can. So now I'm talking, I know I have this flow of energy that comes in with information. So I'm keeping one attention on what I'm saying. I'm keeping one attention on my breath and on my body. I keep one attention on the screen. I look at the time. I look, so I'm keeping multiple attention at the same time. But when we are unable to do that, and when we are unable to accept and meet and hold the energies in motion, then we start to disconnect from the body, because it's too much to handle. And then we occupy ourselves with other things in the external world, and then we start to we start to turn off. So my thing is that I still have energy that I'm working with in the belly, with around the lower dantian. That is the key space that I'm activating right now. And so then I pay a lot of attention during my day, not to abandon that area, not to go in, because I'm 48 years old. I have been making micro movements in my belly, micro tensions, that is creating something, and that is creating tension in the hips, in the psoas, and it's all I can feel how I'm doing it. So I need to come back and back and back and back and again to make sure that that is relaxed. So now I'm working on really having a Santa belly. So the belly that I've been trying to withdraw my whole life, I'm realizing, that's part of the problem, that I'm doing that. So it's not a Pilates, 30% activation that I'm doing. No, I'm doing something completely different, because the energy that it's coming from is shame and embarrassment and not wanting to look a certain way. And so it's not coming from an abundant feeling. It's not Buddha with the belly laughing. It's something completely different. That is And I can feel how I pull the energy up from the root so I tense the belly. So okay, let's see what I'm doing. So I'm pulling it in and up, and by doing that I detach something in the root. It's like I'm not accessing that, and when I do that, it also turns off the sensation of life force in the root and in the sacral, and it also turns the sexual energy off. So when I let go of that and I relax and I sink, so I relax the pelvic floor. So this has to do with the pelvic floor, and this is also how the bladder gets involved, because we also have unhealthy relationships to our bathroom. Bathroom. I want to say visits, but that's not the word that I'm looking for. It's like the schedule, the pattern, the behavior, like our the relationship. That's what I'm looking for. The relationship we have with our body and the bathroom and what happens in there. And there's a lot going on there, because growing up, being potty trained, and the stress that can come with it, and we can hold very long time. So we're creating a lot of weird stuff in those areas. So coming back to that and really allowing that to so I'm doing the Buddha belly, being comfortable with it sticking out. And I'm also gaining a little bit of weight. Both Simba and I are eating like nom nom. Simba is back on the meat after how many years? I mean, 15, 10, 15. I mean, I was vegetarian for 4 or 6 years, and then vegan for 8 years. And then now I eat everything again. And I could just feel how my body is changing. And now I see Simba. It's he's growing like a beast. You know, he's just like this, and I can feel it too. It's like I'm getting bigger. So I'm fluctuating in my weight, and I'm gaining weight, but for the first time in my life, it's not it doesn't bother me. It doesn't create the emotions that it used to do, and it doesn't create the sensations that it used to do. I used to feel like a balloon, and the uncomfortableness, and it's like I could never look beyond that sensation, and I don't have that, and instead it feels like I feel like it's weird, but it feels like growing more like an ox, like strength than fat, if that makes sense. So if I'm expanding in a different way, and I'm also exercising more, and I'm lifting heavier, and all of that, but I'm not using the strength training or the exercise as I used to do. I'm doing it in a completely different way, and I'm focusing mostly on the free flows that we will also be doing in the sensational body. I'm awakening something from the inside. I allow my body to move exactly how it wants to move, and now it wants to be stronger and stronger and have this kind of like these movements, and like more the free flow. And then I add in kettlebells and a little bit of strength training, and I just follow my body and eat. I don't eat everything, but I don't eat liver and intestines and things like that. But I eat meat, I eat egg, I eat pork, just a little bit. I eat fish, salmon. I eat seafood. I eat dairy, cakes. I eat Greek yogurt. So I'm back on everything, and my body is responding extremely well. But it's like it's a strength that is building up, and it comes with an increased feeling of life force and sexual energy. And when all of those systems are, and the kundalini is just moving, and I'm starting to feel, yes, things are really energetically shifting inside. And I'm not, so I've been, in most of my life, I've been depriving myself of things. I've been working out a lot. Because my weight has been just up and down my whole life. So that has been one of the absolute biggest hang-ups of my life. And the fact that I don't have that anymore is just mind-blowing, because that was my only fixation for probably 25 years. So all of that is gone. And now I can look at my body, and I love my body, even though I'm gaining a bit weight. So there's something else happening. And it's all about the relationship to the emotions that we have around what is happening. So the emotions and the energy in motion, we come back to that over and over and over and over and over again. So the ability to hold pressure is the ability to hold emotion and sensations in the body. And they usually don't have anything to do with what's going on in the present moment, in the reality of the moment. So learning how this works in the body, then you can apply that on every single level of your life, because it's all going to come down to that. And that is why it's so difficult to be defined in this level of work, because the principles that we unlock, it opens up the relationship, it opens up our self-esteem, it opens up our ability to create happiness, it opens up our ability to relate to other people, it opens up the way that we relate to ourselves and the world, and from that everything opens up. I mean, it's the three things that people usually want to attract. It's the money, sex, and power, and then you add the health, because if you have these and you don't have health, then it's like, what? But it's the gateway to all of them. How you regulate your internal world is the gateway to all of these things. So that's why it's the most important one. But it's deeply connected to everything else. So we can't do one thing without the other. You can't upgrade your emotional ability without looking at the belief system, without looking at the nervous system, without opening up the body. Because you can do all the practices, but if you don't open up the body, where is it going to go? Where is it going to spread? How are we going to be filled with joy if the body is shut down and there's no flow? Because if we don't do that, then the whole body is not going to experience that. So it's an experience. Life is not something we figure out from the mind. It's an experience, and we need to throw ourselves full-heartedly into it to when people say like, wow, I feel so alive, then they did something, they overcame something, they challenged something. And it's the willingness to be alive that is determining feels like I made something up there. That determines what happens. So our ability to manage ourselves. So if this world is open, then this world is going to be open. If this world is blocked, then this world is going to be blocked. We're a direct mirror. And these are also the, when we start to look deeply into things, and you look at, okay, what is the representation of that in the Bible? And of course, it's all spoken about. So every principle, this is why I mean that everyone's just talking about the same things. It's the same principles everywhere. And that's what you start to notice when you dig a little bit deeper and you do your own research, because we have to do that at some point. We have to find out for ourselves. And that is why, we listen to people, we follow people. But the only way to know is to try for yourself and to see, did it work or not, or what happened? And then, I tried things years ago that I felt that didn't work, but then I tried them years later, and then I was ready. And then I knew, okay, this is what it is. So this is why I meant in the disclaimer about having an open mind and realizing that, okay, what is a no for me right now doesn't mean that it's a no forever, or that that is the truth. But it can be true then, but it can change and be another truth later. So it's like being flexible and open and realize, and having this fluidity of the ego, of the identity, and not have a rigid idea of this is how it is, because we have to be humble of our own ignorance and realize that there's multi layers to the consciousness, and realize, okay, most likely I have more knowledge to gain, but having the ability to change one's mind. And this is the energy in motion. It's fluid. And this is where the feminine energetics comes in. Most of the world is a masculine structure. This is how it works. This is black or white, on and off, structure. But that's just half of the universe. We can't ignore the other half. And that's what's been, I just realized I want to join Simba's internal alchemy. But that is what someone asked in the Telegram group, and asked me to talk about the fact that they are noticing that there are other conversations being held, that things are shifting, energy is shifting, and that is the feminine energy. And that's not women. Everyone has feminine energy. Feminine energy is included in half of the world. Every being has half and have access to it. So it's not men or women. It's a feminine energy that is flowing, and that is moving, and that is constantly changing. And it's flowing through and bouncing off the walls of the masculine energy. And that is what's coming. And that is the masculine fixes and the feminine heals. We don't need fixing, but we do need healing. So it's the incorporation of the feminine energetics and the principles of the feminine energetics. And when we can apply those on the emotional aspects of our experience, and we can start to really learn how to do that and accept who we are as beings, because there's one part also that is just completely unaware of how it all works, and we're trying to fit into this masculine structure that is too small for us. Shrink to fit. We are shrinking to fit into a masculine structure that is way underestimating the capacity that we have, and the space and the expansion that we are capable of doing. And it's a feeling. Freedom is a feeling of expansion without being contained. That's why I have so much problem with watching animals in cages, and because that's how I felt through my whole life. I feel like there's a structure that is trying to keep me in a frame that I'm not. And I think that's why my body is growing, because I'm claiming space. I'm like, the phoenix is rising. I need energy. I need power. And I look at my body and I'm like, okay, feels good. Sure, I would prefer to be a little bit lighter, but it's not bothering me in any sense. And it's just old patterns. So I'm realizing, okay, I'm going through something. I'm letting go of something. There's going to be something else on the other side. This is not the end, because energy is in motion. I'm on my way to something. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing your feedback and comments in the Telegram group. If you haven't joined yet and you're lurking on the YouTube, come in and join. It's friendly. I would love to get to know you. Okay. So, thank you for today. I'll see you tomorrow, sending you lots of love. And yeah, let me know. Ciao.